All right, we are live. Good morning, everyone. Super excited to be doing kind of an impromptu morning live video chat here. You know, a little interview, a little call, whatever we want to call it. You know, last night or a couple days ago, I asked a really good friend of mine, incredible marketer, Diane, to jump on and talk about some really cool stuff that's going on. And originally I was gonna just record it, put it on my blog, and send it out. And last night at maybe midnight, I said, "Hey, you know, Diane, how about we just go live and and let anybody jump on in the interview that wants to jump on." So I know we've got a few people that jumped on here this morning. Give a shout out over in the chat. Let us know that you can see us, hear us, so we know we're not just talking to the wall. I mean, sometimes with technology it can be that way, but I'm going to go forward and talk to you a little bit about why I love jumping on calls with this lovely lady and marketer.
Before you start, Justice, before you go, you want to know how you know that I love you?
How's that?
Because it's 10 o'clock and I was up till 4 and I'm here with you.
Right?
I love you. I don't do mornings, so I love you, and I love your people.
You should have seen the email I sent. I wrote it at 12:30 in the morning last night, or at 12:30 at night after we chatted. I said, you know, she's a really great marketer. I said, but why I like her so much is because every time I post a profile pic, she tells me what a cutie I am, you know? So
well, it's all about the facial hair. You men are, or you have the facial hair debate going on lately, but
yeah, no, I know. I was so excited about this that I got the razor out and I got all clean.
No, look at that.
That's a big deal.
You shaved for me, and I got up early and did the blow dry for you. That's love, baby.
Well, I know, no doubt about it. You know, so aside from all the fun, guys, I mean, we always have fun. You know, I got to meet Diane. The picture I posted on Facebook was from Live the Dream 3. That was the first time we got to meet. But you know, why I get so excited when people get to see you for the first time, the second time, the fifth time, the 10th time, whatever it is that you've got something really special going on. I mean, Diane is not just an incredible marketer. She's not just someone who's had success in network marketing and internet marketing and really kind of, you know, been one of those people that's been able to blend the two so beautifully, you know, but gets asked to speak on every major stage. I've watched you. I mean, it's so much fun to watch. I've watched Diane put 100 people into a deal in like that. You know, just say, hey, guess what? You know, this is something I'm passionate about. This is something I'm going to work on. And, you know, whereas so many people out there are like, I got to put my first person in. I got to make my first sale. You know, these 10, 15 years of experience and what you've learned and what you now share with everybody has enabled you to get to a place where it's just like that. And it's done effortlessly, and it's done easily, and it's done fun, and it's not weird, and it's not uncomfortable, and you know it's not salesy, and I mean there's just a magic about it, guys, and that's why it's such a treat for those of you who are on here today, or those of you who end up watching the recording to get to listen to some of this. So Diane, thanks so much for coming on today. You know, I love every opportunity we get to share your message with, you know, whoever's out there to hear it and learn from it.
Well, good morning. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mentioned that you have like kind of that you've had success in a couple different spaces, and you know, I've watched it. I mean, the things that you teach, it's very interesting, and had I learned them earlier, had I been paying attention to some of the stuff that you taught earlier, you know, I'd be closer to where I am now. Now, I don't say that with regret, guys. I mean, I embrace my journey so much, but there's so much noise out there on the internet, right? And, I mean, what Diane teaches is just really pure. It's really wonderful, and it works, you know. But I'm sure it wasn't like, you know, Diane wasn't always Diane, just like I wasn't always where I was at. So what was like, you know, go give everybody a little bit of your backstory first, but then I'd love for you to share with them like maybe that turning point for you, that aha moment, you know, because we all kind of start this business in a different place, and it's not always putting 100 people in like that, you know.
No, believe me, I did not do that out of the gate.
Yeah.
Believe me. You know, I think Justice, I was really blessed because I was right. I came into the industry right at a window of time where people were still doing traditional network marketing and still teaching the traditional fundamentals of the communication process and so on. And yet it was the dawn of the internet into the mass market. I was an early adopter. I think I had a computer in '94. You know, I don't remember. So I always had a computer. I always had the newest type of computer because I just like them, which is ironic because I'm so not technical. But to me, they were a window to the world. I could read and research, and I'm an information person, you know. So I was at that place where I was still being taught the classical way, you know, like if we were musicians, I was classically trained.
Yeah.
But at the same time, somebody gave me like an electronic keyboard to play with, so I was able to make new sounds, so to speak. And because there was no history on the internet in our space, I was one of the few people out doing it, I could kind of make it up as I went along. Today it's so much harder because there's all these rules and people think I have to do it this way and it works this way, and I never perceived any of those rules, still don't to this day. As you're watching me now doing all kinds of wacky stuff, I don't prescribe to the, you know, the method that everybody taught, but I still learned it in a very classical way that I never deviate from. So, but I started when I was broke, just like everybody else, you know, broke, desperate, looking for a way to make some money for my family. I think that's the window that we all come through, you know, so many of us. I mean, did you do this because you wanted to quit your job or because you were broke? Or combo?
It was a combination of everything. I mean,
Yep.
I was like, it's funny because I always say I was the perfect prospect, right? Like, you know, they say, like, don't just hand someone a business card and walk away from them, right? Like,
you were the guy, right? You signed up.
Somebody handed me a business card. I lost the business card, and I, like, went to them and was like, hey, I lost that business card. What was it again, right? I went and watched the company video that was like the generic deal, and I tossed and turned all night, and I was like, okay, this is it, I'm in. You know, so I was arguably the biggest lay-down sale in the history of network marketing. I mean...
And I'm the relative that they tell you have to prospect all your relatives. I'm the relative that they prospected because they had to because somebody made them, and I turned into a rock star. So I'm that other fantasy. So you and I are fantasy. We should be poster children of the industry, you know.
We are. We're the poster children for the fact that listen, you got to get out there and share it with people. Right? Even if you do it the wrong way, it's better than not doing it at all.
Correct.
Like, I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who you're going to get. You don't know who the person's going to be, right? And, you know, I've heard it said so many times, we don't walk around with signs on our head that say, hey, I'm in need of something different, right? Like I'm in a place where I want change. And that's where I was. I mean, it was just like it was just this perfect timing of, hey, I needed change. You know, I was waiting tables. I was, you know, loads and loads of debt, and I just didn't want to go back into management in the restaurant biz and building, you know, some kind of what I felt was, and you know, I've got no problem with careers or jobs or any of that stuff, but for me, it was just, I just didn't want to do it anymore.
No.
You know,
Eric Worre calls that high noon, when you're at that perfect moment when it's high noon.
Yeah.
You know, when the prospect gets to that place.
Yeah, it was high noon for me. I mean, you couldn't have said anything to me that would have turned me off to the idea of giving this a shot.
Yeah.
Right?
It was better than where you were, right?
Absolutely. I mean, what I realized later was giving it a shot just wasn't enough. Do you know what I mean? I had to make a big decision, but you know, I think that, listen, that's where we all get at some point, you know, if we're going to last here.
Without it, well, that's really it. Everybody wants to give it a shot, and then the men and the boys separate, you know, and you either go on and you make it, or you just kind of dilly-dally, or you jump from program to program or whatever. You know, there is a line of demarcation. And you asked about when was the I always made money, Justice. I come from New York, man. You work, you know. So I thought I opened a store. I mean, you know, you're from Jersey.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, East Coast, New York, Jersey, Philly. You know, you go to work. You're 16. You go to work. Okay, and you hustle. Yeah, because otherwise you're going to get run over on the street. You know, you hustle. So I made money from the first week. But I was making money. I paid off my debt and all this other stuff, and it was fine. But I certainly wasn't you know, living the lifestyle of the rich and famous. I was, you know, busy servicing customers and all that type of stuff. I ran a store. That's what I thought I did, so therefore, that's what I thought I had, so therefore I sold stuff. That's what you do when you own a store. So it was 2005. It was when social media was busting out, and I had studied a course from a particular person who was kind of like if Mike Dillard's the godfather of attraction marketing, well, this guy's the grandpappy, you know, he's like 6 generations back. You know, and a lot of you guys know who Mike is, wrote Magnetic Sponsoring. So I met him on the internet through a fluke, and I emailed him, and I had taken a course of his several years earlier, and we chatted on the phone, and we hit it off like peas and carrots. We were on the phone for 2 hours, and I was all excited because you know, he was a guru, you know, a 90s iconic guru, okay, like Ray Higdon is today.
Yeah.
That was him, okay. Yeah. Except maybe even a little, because this guy was very edgy, you know, where Ray's, you know, not so edgy. But and I mean that in a great way. In fact, hello to Ray's people in London today. They're all over in London. I'm so sad I'm not with them.
Awesome. I mean, I think he sold out that room.
Yep. And so many of the guys that I've met before on my trips over there are over there. So you guys have a rockin' time. In fact, it's 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. It's already 3 o'clock, so they'll be there like in 4 hours having a good time. I think they're all getting together early, a lot of them. So. But anyway, it was this window of time. There was a new medium. There was blogging. Video wasn't quite out yet because bandwidth wasn't big enough. And then I had met, I had 2 mentors before, but then I had met this one that was close up. He was hands-on with me. And he is the one that started handing me these codes that I keep talking about everywhere. And I've talked about them for years. A lot of people are like, I've never heard you talk about this. I talk about them every week. He gave me this code. He called them cowboy codes. They were like immutable laws of success in business. And then all of a sudden I could see it all around me. And then I was able to go out on the internet and utilize them, and the rest is history. That's how I started getting the gigs on the stages and this and that. I was literally using these laws that he gave me. Kind of like laws of physics, though. I don't mean like it is the law. You'll get arrested if you don't.
It is so wild that there are, you know, there are some underlying fundamentals, some laws of success, some things that they really cross the borders of all industries. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they're universal, Justice. I keep interrupting you because I get excited. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, they're universal law. Mostly it's stuff that you can tap in any part of your life. In any part of your life.
No doubt about it. I mean, I did a call the other day where I tried to explain to people, stop trying to cheat the system. Like,
you can't get rich trying to beat the system. You can't get rich trying to find a loophole.
No,
I say it all the time.
Stop trying to backdoor success. You know, it's funny because Diane says, "Hey, you know, I wasn't living the life of the rich and famous, but I made money right away. I was in profit.
Yeah, paid off my debt. I was doing great.
Right? I mean, whereas I made $98 in commissions in my first 10 months. Okay, I was I had so much to change about me. And there just was no cheating the laws of success. It didn't matter what I bought or what tool I got, right? Some of the stuff that Diane's talking about, these fundamentals, the codes, I mean, I had to make changes to the way I approached life, not just network marketing or not just making a sale, you know? And so my journey was a little different. Hey, 10 months, $98 in commissions, probably spent a few $1,000 that I didn't have trying to cheat it. Right, trying to backdoor it, and
everybody does, Justice. Yep. I did too in a different way. You know, everybody does this.
Absolutely,
everybody does this.
Absolutely, but that's the cool part, guys. Is we all? I mean, we all kind of make those mistakes. You know, when you have the luxury of getting around people like Diane and hearing some of the wonderful things that she has to say and learning from her experience, you can skip a few of the mistakes. You can't skip them all, right? You're going to make them. But
that's the magic is in the doing. The correction comes through the doing. If you never do, like I always say, I can't teach you how to swim if you won't get in the pool.
Yep.
You know? If you can't sit on the side of the pool and I go, well, first you get in and then you paddle like this and kick your feet. You know, it's not going to work. Yeah, and you got to get a little water in your mouth. You know, you got to get a little water up your nose. You have to think you're going to drown before you learn how to swim.
Yeah.
You know, Justice, one line that I think that everybody should write down, it's nature will always correct herself. Okay, nature will always correct herself. Because if you go out in the world, and again, I grew up in the city and then ended up living up in the country. If they pave the street and they neglect it, right? If they leave it alone, if they don't maintain it, the grass and stuff and the weeds are going to grow up through the cracks. And if you leave it alone, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie Legend or whatever it was called, where the nature takes over the city because there's nobody there to maintain it, and something happens, there's some virus and everybody dies or something. So nature will always correct herself. She's always going to fix when people try to mess with it. You can find a loophole and you can find a way, you know, that's working right now in this moment. But nature will always, or the industry will always make sure that folks get knocked down when they try to beat the system. It's a guarantee. It's a guarantee. So I love a little loophole. I love a little traffic window. You know what I'm saying. There's a little window. I mean, I was a pioneer. I was one of the first people using video. I was one of the first people to do pay-per-click on YouTube. Nobody was there. You know, I like when nobody's there because I don't know how to do it. So I have to do it when nobody knows how to. I ran ads on Facebook.
You don't know how to do it. That's
well, no, the iron is because I'm not analytical. Truthfully, I'm not analytical. So like competing in the deciphering of what's the best keyword and what's the best bid and stuff, it's just not my thing. I think it's awesome. I wish it were my thing, and I should hire someone to do it for me. But so my point is, there's always a window. There's always a loophole. There's always a way. But sooner or later, the nature corrects herself. So the industry will slap it. That's what the slaps are.
Yeah.
The slaps are the marketplace correcting things.
Yes, absolutely. It's a natural correction. You know,
and if you're prepared to be corrected, you know, if you're prepared to be knocked down, run, Forrest, run.
Yeah,
you know?
go, yeah, I mean, beat it till it doesn't work anymore, you know. But that's
you've
why.
never seen me, Justice. I'll see something, and I'm like, again, I'm not really analytical and good at this, but I'll see something. I'll call everybody I know. I'm like, you guys, you got to jump on this. This is like it's like a window. I see it, and they're like, what? And then they'll go do it, and they'll all be like calling me, thank you, because I see it, and then it closes.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's okay as long as the fundamentals are in place, as long as the laws are being respected, you know. That's just icing on the cake then. If you're respecting the law.
It's finding $100 on the street. You're not going to find $100 every day. If you find $100 on the street, do something smart with it. If you get an extra 1,000 leads, do something smart with them. Don't just plan that's how you're going to build your business forever.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end, guys, when you stick around to the end, we're going to share an opportunity for you to hear some of the really critical and deeper training that Diane brings to the table when it comes to this stuff. But we've been talking about the guru code a lot, right? I've seen that out there.
Guru code. That's our thing. Our hashtag thing this week.
But this is it right here.
Hashtags, hash browns. We don't know what they are. We're just. My daughter taught me this. She's 21. She's like, hashtag.
This is it. And then you're like, hey, wait a second. You
gotta do it. I think they both have to be in the same direction. I don't know. Maybe you don't. I don't know. I think you can strike a pose however you like, Justice.
However works for you. Help people understand a little bit. I'm sure there's people starting to see it out there on the internet. There's a lot of buzz about what you're up to, which we'll talk about in a couple of minutes. But help people understand what is the guru code. What is some of the buzz they see out there.
Yeah. Justice, for 15 years, actually 14 years, okay, I started noticing this my first year in business. I started noticing that some people worked really hard and had to grind. They had to grind. They were 24 hours a day at their computers, on their phones. They had to do presentations. They had to grind. And other people were living the life. Okay, they were living the life. They were making boatloads of money. They were out playing golf on a boat at the beach, having a grand time. And not just in pictures, because a lot of that stuff out there is baloney. Baloney. But really, I mean, I would observe them. I would be sitting there watching them, and I would be in their homes, and I'd know what their home life is like. And I started to notice there was a difference. And there was something going on between the people that were, people were becoming successful with an employee mentality. Right? You can become successful by working hard. If you work hard and leave your family and never take a vacation, you can make money. And then there were other people that were becoming ridiculously successful through some secret code. And I set out 14 years ago to pull this apart. And I believe surely that's why in 2005 I met that particular mentor, because he was giving it all to me in a way that I could put it together. But he didn't even have it in order. Like, he just operated by these codes, but he had never really put them all in one place. And in fact, during that time period, we wrote books together, and all kinds of things. Putting this in order, I would help him every day put it in order so that it was understandable. And so when he left the industry, when he retired, he tasked me, when I was ready, to bring this to people. Because it is truly, and I hate to use this term because it sounds so hypey, but it is truly life-changing. This is truly the stuff that allows you to work 2 hours a day and make multi-six figures. This is truly the stuff that allows you to recruit on demand and have people banging on your door asking to work with you. This is truly the stuff to make you the person that people are calling. Can you speak at our event? Can we fly you to England? Can we take you here? Can we take you there? This is truly the stuff that made people hunt you down and want to JV with you, joint venture with you, wanting them, you know, people approaching you with business deals. This is truly the stuff that gets you in on the insider deals on what's going on. Guys, I'm not going to kid you. Most people are just busy working, and then there's some players that are in the background helping each other out. And so all of this goes on, and he taught me this. And over the course of a year employing this, my whole career changed, and I went from a housewife selling diet pills to a nationally known and then later on internationally known speaker, trainer, etc. I was being hired for thousands and thousands of dollars as a consultant. My phone was ringing off the hook. And it happened over the course of a year. Fast forward so many years later, I am now ready to teach this to people. I'm now ready to lay it down and give it to people, first in a very basic form. For those that want to come and hang out with us, we're going to be doing it this week. But then for those that maybe would like to really dig in and spend some time and study this so that they can assimilate it and receive it, we have that available too. So Wednesday night, we're going to do some amazing stuff that's never been done before. And I would advise, and Justice will give you links and make sure you know where to go. But guys, don't overlook this. This is my warning to people. Many people hear some of these things, and they think it can't be that easy, can't be that simple. I don't believe that. And they ignore it. And then they come back years later, and they say what Justice said today. I wish I had known this stuff when I started. I would have saved myself years of struggle. And Justice has done off the hook through that, and he is like a master marketer. He's absolutely incredible. But if he had had this earlier, I was just blessed, Justice. Most people don't have it. I was just in the right place at the right time with a guy that wanted to lay down his knowledge. And now, hopefully, a lot of people are going to come Wednesday night. They're going to be in the right place in the right time with a girl who wants to lay down what's been given to me.
Yeah, it's you know, and I put a link up, guys. You can register for Wednesday night. I also put a link in the chat box. You know, and I mean, I want to get it out there. I'm glad you mentioned it because obviously, you know, it's morning time. There's some people that are on tight schedules. So, you know, if you got to run off somewhere, you know, get registered now. We'll see you Wednesday night. You know, you said something in there, Diane, where you mentioned, you know, that you saw people doing it, right? You saw their lifestyles. You were in their homes, and you know, it wasn't just, you know, kind of like the fake pictures. I mean, the internet's become so noisy, and you know, I know we've been around each other for a while, and I am not like a hyper promoter, you know, like you know, I'm not out there promoting it every minute. You know, I really only wrap my arms around stuff because of that with people I know. You know, people who I've spent time with, people who I've seen legitimately apply, you know, real business building stuff and get incredible results. And that's why I was so excited to do this little video chat interview this morning, whatever it is, because, you know, I've seen it time and time again, and I really get the feeling. I mean, just from our conversations, just from some of the stuff that we've talked about, you know, privately, you know, and that this is your time. Like this, I feel like this is your biggest.
It's my work, the work of my life.
Biggest statement yet, you know, and that excites me because I know how much, I know how fundamentally sound and how different some of the stuff that you share is versus what is out there in the marketplace, you know, and not from a negative, I don't want to get negative.
No, because it's all good stuff. There's so much good stuff out there, and most of it works. You know, somebody recently thought I was knocking traffic or something, or some other stuff. And I was like, that's not my point ever, ever, ever. You got to learn every angle you can. You got to hustle. You got to, you know, but without a foundation, houses fall.
Yeah.
It's just that and you can either believe me after 15 years, not you, people, or y'all can experience it yourself. Go ask anybody that was up making over 6 figures that lost it. Go ask them how much fun it is. It's not fun. So wouldn't we all rather build a solid foundation and build into that revenue and that income so that we have the freedom lifestyle? Just as this week, and this is not to, guys, this is not for me to tell you, oh, Diane's great or whatever, and it's not an income claim or anything like that. I paid for college tuition for 2 kids and bought 2 cars cash within 10 days. That's what my life is like now. And it's like all no problem, no problem. And then they're like, I need $600 for books. Okay, no problem. Because it's not an issue, because once you know the code, you can really, you know, they always say it's like having your own ATM or printing money on demand, all those hokey lines. It is. I can write a letter and create money on demand. I can do a webinar and create money on demand. I can do so many different things. So when you transcend that stage of I need to get money, okay? There are people market into that. They market into I need to get money. They market into that part of your DNA. And we all were there. I was there, you know. But at some point we move to a higher level, and that's when we become our most attractive. When we don't need anyone. When we don't need anything. Jim Rohn taught about this. You know, when you're in a position, at first you have to earn enough to take care of yourself. You know, a lot of people can't even take care of themselves, and you have to earn enough to take care of you and one other, perhaps a partner. And then you have to earn enough to take care of you and a couple of others, you know, if you have kids or whatever, and then maybe you want to give a little to charity, or maybe you want to do this. But what happens when you can tap into these codes and you can earn as much as you want so you can be free to make a contribution? It's kind of cool stuff.
It's really cool stuff, guys. And I mean, I know, you know, I know obviously in the morning we're not going to sit here and you know, share every bit of information that can get the gears spinning in your head and get you going where you want to go. But that's why you got to get registered for this Wednesday night, because I mean, it's, again, no interest in being negative here, but but these fundamentals they're just not shared in this way, in the way Diane, in the way you've delivered them, in what I've seen so far, and I can tell that this is your life's work here. I can tell that this
my passion.
Yeah, that this is the moment in which you're going to deliver this message in a way that you haven't delivered it before. And you know, the people that are out there looking to make a shift in life, a shift in business, that are looking to, you know, that are looking to really have kind of reach the promise. I mean, they all saw it at one point, right? Like everybody saw the promised land at one point when they saw business opportunity, and then you know, those waters somehow get muddied. You know, things get cloudy. It's okay. You know, things get cloudy. I mean, I asked when we did the 100-day challenge. I mean, and I was sharing it with people. You know, the first thing I asked is like, listen, stop for a minute. Go back to the day when you found this industry.
Yeah. Remember the hope. Remember the excitement. I remember sitting in that chair in the back of that meeting room with 300 people knowing my life was about to change. I remember that moment. I can feel it. If I close my eyes, I can feel that energy, Justice. If everybody could find it again.
It's unbelievable, because I mean, I tossed and turned at night when I saw this industry for the first time. You know, I can remember. I can remember sitting in bed and having the gears spin and say, I'm out. I'm doing something different. You know, I'm gonna make something bigger, grander. You know, I didn't know exactly what it was, but I felt it. You know, and that everybody has that little moment. And then sometimes, you know, whether it's the marketplace that beats them down, that, you know, some of the you know, falling early on, whether it's the noise, you know, getting pulled in 1,000 directions online, whatever it is, that vision gets a little cloudy. Those waters get muddied a little bit, and you know, I'd encourage everybody to go back to that place, you know, because these are time-tested fundamentals that come from Diane, and you know, that they're not just about the latest greatest traffic strategy. They're about what gets people, okay, from the moment where they see that vision, you know, to the moment where the waters get a little muddy, back to a place where they're actually moving towards it, and eventually living in that vision. You know, and that's why we joined. I mean, that's why we got in this industry. And you know, I'm excited for everyone and anyone, and I'm most excited for you because I know that this is going to be a special this is going to be a special time, you know, sharing this stuff. You know, so I mean, we've talked we've talked a lot about success fundamentals. I mean, I see you move people a certain way. You know, when it comes time, when you have something special to share with people, you know, you're able to get them to take action. And you know, if we could drop, you know, if people were to walk away with one nugget today, you know, something that could help them make a sale more easily, help them move a person, you know, to buy a product or join an opportunity more easily. You know, what would you say to the person out there that maybe is like what you see missing, you know, for so many people that they can walk away with today?
First, Justice, before I answer that question, I just want to say one thing. These are fundamentals. They're time tested. They've existed for a long time. But what's really exciting about them, and a lot of people don't realize this or they don't wrap their head around it. When you this is like gas, okay? If you understand this stuff and you pour it on the new internet technique, like on the new video pay-per-click on Facebook, if you take this and pour it on that, it creates fire. Okay, so if you learn how to run a video pay-per-click ad, you might do okay, you might not do okay. That's the new thing that everybody's talking about. Whatever the new thing is this week, because there's always going to be something new on the internet. If you learn the technique, if you learn keyword research, if you learn, you know, how to get ranked, all those great things. Okay, if you learn how to write a good email copy, okay, any of those things are important marketing skills. But if you take this stuff, and it's not just, you know, like when people hear fundamentals, they think it's going to be like, tie your shoes and wash your face and brush your teeth before you go to bed. Guys, this is a whole nother level. This is not brush your teeth. I'm not going to tell you make a list and every night before you go to bed, make a list of the 6 most important things to do tomorrow. That's all. I mean, it's all good and it's great, but we've all heard that. You've never heard anything like what you're going to hear Wednesday night. Never. Never in your life. So when you guys learn this stuff and you pour it on, if you dig the internet, take it and pour it all over the internet. You dig prospecting locally, take it and pour it on prospecting locally. I am telling you, people will perceive you or respond to you in a completely different way. And so now to answer your question, here's what's missing behind everybody's pitch. Okay, everybody's out and they're copying and pasting in Facebook and writing things about being like-minded individuals and all the stuff that everybody does, right? But when I go around and I ask people, who are you and what do you stand for? Nobody, zero, nobody. I had a coaching group recently. You had a coaching group recently. I had a coaching group recently that we were working on. And nobody can answer that question. Who are you and what do you stand for? So, you see, people follow people that are going somewhere. But if we don't know who we are and what we stand for, what our message is, I don't care if you sell diet pills, lotions, potions, internet service, phone service, you know, auto junk. I don't care what you guys sell. If you don't have a bigger message about where you're going and where you're taking people, nobody will respond to you. Hang it up now. Hang it up now. So I know that sounds so simple. What do you mean? All I have to know is who I am and where I'm going? Like what my quest is? That's it? That just sounds dumb. I want to learn how to, you know, rank things on YouTube or rank things on Google. Okay, go rank things on Google, but then when you get the prospect, as soon as you open your mouth, you will telegraph to them right into their subconscious that you're not the one to go with. You will telegraph on your videos, you will telegraph in your copy, you will telegraph on your webinars. Nobody will respond to you, and then you will say what everybody says, I'm doing all the work, but nobody's coming. I don't know why. It's because you don't know the answer to who you are and where you're going. And if you can't answer that, you got a problem. So simple, Justice. So simple. So you've always known who you were and where you were going. So while you worked through some stuff, you didn't know exactly where you were going, but you knew you were going.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew I was going to get there.
Just if you had asked me 5 years ago, would you be doing the Guru Code this week and would you be teaching? I would have been like, what is it? I wouldn't have known that. But I always knew I was going, and I always knew I had something more. I had to be free from society and the job and stuff because I had a calling. And my road has taken me down to start to find out what my calling is. but it was never, it's like, hi, my name's Diane, and I'm looking to make a buck off of you. Okay, sign me up, And you can smell people from a mile away when that's their thing. Who are you and what do you want? I'm a like-minded individual. I'd like to sell you stuff. Okay.
And sadly, it's not, I don't play that marketing message that, your upline isn't telling you this, but sadly, there's
your upline doesn't know this.
Exactly. It's not that they're keeping something from you. They don't have it. They don't even have it to give. There's nothing they're hiding. It's just that they don't understand. Everybody I come in contact with from different companies that's looking for help in XYZ, they go out there and they can't answer the question who they are and where they're going. Okay, they can't answer it. All they can answer at the moment is the generic stuff that's been fed to them, initially, which is it's not bad, it's not malicious. Okay, there's just an understanding you have to get to. You have to get the code. I mean, you really, you just have to get that. It's what makes you attractive. It's what makes people want to follow you. It's what makes someone like Diane. I mean, I watched this, and I say I learned my journey was a little different. I built an email list of 20,000 people in like that,
I've never built an email list of 20,000 people ever, so.
And the funny part is I didn't understand at the time, okay, I didn't understand some of the things that we're talking about here. And I'm going to learn a hell of a lot more, now that Diane's sharing this with the marketplace. But the funny part is everybody thinks, okay, it's a numbers game. Go talk to a lot of people. There's some truth to that.
Absolutely. Most people are working with too few a number. It's absolutely numbers game.
Everybody says go out there and generate 1 million. You need leads. Yeah, there's some truth to that. Okay.
You need a hell of a lot more numbers if you don't know this stuff.
Yeah.
I can produce with very small numbers what everybody can produce with thousands and thousands and thousands.
So you want to go out and talk to 1,000 people? You're going to get results? Yes, you are. Do you want to go generate 20,000 leads? Are you going to get results? Yes, you are. But why is it that some people, but that's the 14-hour-a-day deal, okay?
And that's the they all quit on me deal too. I always watch the industry will celebrate people who generate the most leads or people who recruit the most people. Very rarely do they ever celebrate who retains them or who has built up that thing. And it's changing now. The marketplace is changing because people are starting to see, as much as there's a lot of hype on the net, Justice, there's a lot of transparency now. You can't hide anymore. So
yeah, you can.
It's different.
It is totally different, and the incredible part, guys. And listen, I know we've gone to 40 minutes past the hour. Here's the deal.
Fun.
Go get registered, okay? I put the link up. I put the link in the chat box. Get registered for this Wednesday night. I'm going to be on early. I haven't been this excited about a webinar in a very long time. Because I just, this stuff is, it's so cool. It speaks to me because I've been on both sides of the fence in my business, and hey, guys, if you guys want the honest deal here, if you want the on the level conversation, it's harder out there now, okay? From a standpoint of, you used to be able to use the loophole, right? The loophole used to get you a lot farther. There's so many people out there screaming about the loopholes. There's so many people pushing that stuff, and there's a reason why I can say I generated 20,000 leads and didn't get it, okay, and didn't get the results from that I wanted. When as I'm watching someone like Diane sit here with an email list that isn't nearly that big, and having these people just flock and scream about her and happily follow you in anything wherever you go, and I highlight the word happily, right? I've never seen so many more happier teammates, happier buyers, right? They're like there's
happy buyers, yeah.
Yeah, it's mutually beneficial and it's special, and that's there's a secret to it, and I'm telling you, just understanding a little piece of it has fundamentally changed my life and business. And I can only imagine what you're going to share this Wednesday.
I know we have to go. I want to leave everybody with two little tiny things.
Awesome.
One, this is going to be the very first time that my husband Larry, who you've met, Larry is a 25-year experienced counselor. He's worked with a lot of people in this space undercover. He's one of the best kept secrets in our space. Most people don't know that he does work with clients. And Larry's coming out because he wants to take some people. I'm going to give them this information. Instead of it going in, it's going to bounce off their head, right? It's going to bounce. They're going to reject it because of the thought process that they have going on. Larry's going to break them. Larry's going to make sure that he opens up a pathway so that it can go in. So that's going to be a big deal. And then second of all, here's what's cool about what I'm doing Wednesday night. What I lay down, and this is a very bold statement, Justice, and I'll probably say it at the beginning of the webinar Wednesday night, and you're the only one, by the way, you said, what can we do that nobody else has heard? You know, you said that to me. What can we do, you and I? Nobody's heard this. I haven't said this on a single interview or a single thing. What I lay down Wednesday night, you will be able to listen to again 10 years from now, and it will be dead on accurate. Not a thing needs to be updated, and not a thing will need to be changed. Now, what does that mean? Why is that valuable to you? So many people, Justice, how many courses have you bought? And I'm not knocking them because they're great, and especially if you learned something that made you money at that moment or got you leads at that moment. How many courses have you bought that right now, if you were to pull them out and try to use them, they are obsolete or inaccurate?
Here's the wild part. How many courses have I made, right, that fall into that category? I mean, it's something I didn't realize at the beginning. Things change fast, right? And I've bought endless stuff, and I've created some stuff that just isn't. Well, it
was current information, and that's valuable. And I'm not knocking it because he was bringing you what was in the moment, in that pulse, in that coaching period. He was giving you what was current or what's working now, right? What's working now. A lot of people want to know what's working now, so there's absolute value to that.
No doubt.
And so I'm not knocking it because there's a million things that I have learned from. There are things that I learned from. I have courses from that I bought off of eBay when I was broke that I bought for like $6. In fact, I bought my house with a Dave Delgado real estate course from 1982 that I bought at a garage sale, and I figured out how to buy this and I got a really good deal. So who knew, right? So I am not knocking content, and his stuff was totally inaccurate at the time that I used it because it was about when the interest rates were really high and it was very different. But there was a chapter that showed me, and it's a whole long story which I won't tell today. My family was in a very bad situation before I started my business, and I needed to buy a house. I had no money to put down, but I did have Larry had a good job and everything else. I needed to buy a house, and I needed to buy one with no money down. And I used a technique from that course that was completely inaccurate and 20 years old, 30, maybe then 30 years old, whatever. So nothing wrong with that stuff, and you can find a lot of gold nuggets layered in all of that stuff. But I dare say that what I'm doing Wednesday night is a legacy course, and that's a pretty bold statement for me to say that. This is something that you want to hear Wednesday, and then you want to get access to the recording to. Because if you were to put that sucker on once a month, it would change your life forever. If you were to decide to come study with us, for those of us that are going to do some advanced study, it's not for everybody, but for those that will, the people that walk in the door, if they choose to commit, they're going to walk out by, long before the end of the year, a completely different person, and they will continue to evolve over time. So I'm talking something that's legacy. Okay, not only is it landmark because it hasn't been done before, but it's legacy. And I lay my name on that, and somebody should shoot me in 6 months if that's not true. And you guys think I'm joking, but this is part of my code. It's like I'd rather stab myself than do certain things. People are like, don't say that. There's certain lines that I will not cross. I was taught not to cross. It's like honor. It's like I'm a Marine. I'm a marketing Marine. Something, I am creating a legacy here, and I'm looking for people that want to become part of that legacy and pay it forward. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for the space. It was given to me. I was entrusted with it. I have to give it away now. The question is, who's ready to receive it? That's it.
Awesome. Awesome. And I'm so excited that Larry is joining in on this with you. I mean, I've had the good opportunity to spend a little time with Larry a couple different times. We all spent some
Larry's
time.
watched us party. Larry's not the biggest partier, so he watched us party.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We all spent a little time at Happy Land, which I think you're going to. I think you're going to talk a little bit about Happy Land at the end of Wednesday night as well, which is pretty exciting stuff, guys. It's a pretty cool place. I got to tell you that. Yeah, I mean, there's really. I think that's a great way to close it out, Diane. I think that if you're on here. I highly recommend you get registered for Wednesday night. I mean, just get registered. Come on, you know, if anything, just to enjoy watching, you know, something that hasn't been done before, and something really powerful, and something that's for the industry. I mean, something that really, you know, it's going to change the way people look at this business and their understanding of what it takes to succeed. And that's what excites me, because I've gotten the feeling, I've said it already, gotten the feeling, I knew right from the very start that what you were doing was special. And that's, you know, that's what excites me, because, you know, all the stuff out there is great. You're right. I mean, there's all the how-to, and you need it. You know, it's
Absolutely.
But this, but this is something bigger. You know, it's something special. It's something bigger, and you know, some people are gonna you know, take it all the way. Some people are gonna pull a few nuggets out of Wednesday night. Whatever it is for you. I mean, it's
exactly. There's going to be so much goodness in Wednesday night, and then there'll be an opportunity for those that want to, you know, really delve into it. But Wednesday night alone, it's 100% worth coming, whether you're looking for something advanced or not. I promise you, you will take pages of notes. I promise you, you will learn something that you can use that day, you know, unless it's really late and then you can use it in the morning. But for most of you, it's early enough, you're not on the East Coast or whatever, you will learn something that you can employ that day to make a difference. I guarantee that.
Awesome.
That day.
Awesome. So get registered.
No learning curve involved.
Yep. What a nice change of pace that is, right? No learning curve involved. Just go apply. Just go apply and you know, and change the way you do things, you know, for the better. So guys, go on, get registered. We'll see you Wednesday night. I'm super excited. Diane, thank you so much for taking a little time today. Thank you for all you do. I mean, thank you for deciding that it was your time to bring this stuff to the industry, because that alone is special. I mean, I love ambassadors of the industry, you know, when you
that's you. I was just going to say, Justice, that's you, because you have taken it upon yourself with Adam to really coach and bring people down the road and show them how to systematize and create sequence in their business. So you are an ambassador. You are legacy. You are laying this down, and we all come along. You know, we all come down the road, but you took that upon yourself where very few others do. And I think people don't understand, and I hope you guys, if you're big Justice fans, I know you are if you're here, I don't know that you understand what this guy puts into making this, the things that he's done for you guys, making it possible. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work to teach a lot of people how to do what he's taught a lot of people how to do.
It's loads of work, but it's more love than work.
It's a labor of love, right? It's a labor of love. Yeah. I feel like we're on a telethon.
Right. Awesome. Well, guys, get registered. We'll see you Wednesday night. Diane, thanks again, and I'm gonna unlive the broadcast here, guys. Thanks for taking a little time out of your morning and jumping on. I hope you pulled something. I'm sure you pulled something away that changed the way you do business, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Bye, guys.